Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Meredith and today I have my shopping haul. I'm laughing because it's so random from when my friend and I went on a day trip to Brooklyn. So there's a shopping area, so I'm going to set this down actually. So the day trip was basically because my friend and I were trying to figure out something to do in the heat that was going to be somewhat interesting but also like not too strenuous. So we went to Brooklyn into the Sunset Park area. So for us it's pretty much a trek. It's a very long day trip, and we went to Industry City, which is kind of like a shopping district sort of area. It's very interesting. I'll have a vlog coming up maybe in a few months about it, but basically there are a bunch of shops there, including like outlets for all of the very fancy furniture brands. Like Restoration Hardware outlet is over there. So if you're interested in RH and you like legitimately just want to like look at it without having to worry about paying $40,000 for a sofa, you can go check it out over there. Actually, I don't know how much the cloud sofa is, but I know it's pretty pricey. But then there's also going to be in that shopping area a bunch of other things to do. Like it's a very family friendly area. My friend and I were kind of talking about it, and then I was like the most shocked by it. She's like, why do you keep bringing up how many kids there are? But there were just kids running everywhere, so if that's going to annoy you, just know that going into it. But then there's also going to be an area within Industry City where there is a large Japanese sort of like, it's called Japan Village. But basically there is a large Japanese food court. There's Sunrise Mart, which is like the Japanese grocery store. That's not the one in New Jersey that I still can't think of. I want to call it Mitsuwa, that's what it is. I wanted to say Kinokuniya, but I think that's the bookstore that I never know how to pronounce because it's a very long name and I always like my brain shuts off. But then there's also going to be Book Off, which is like a Japanese bookstore, and a Daiso. So my friend and I wanted to go to Daiso and pick up stuff. So this is going to be a haul again from Daiso and Sunrise Mart. It's very random. So let me start off with the items that I bought. Okay, so first off, I had to buy this tote because Daiso ran out of plastic bags and I was a dum-dum and I hadn't moved my large tote that I always carry with me into my actual new purse that I've been using. So that happened. So I had to buy that. Daiso in the United States is $1.99 as the base price, which is kind of expensive for me at least. So I kind of had to do a think through about if it's going to be at the Dollar Tree, which is now $1.25, versus at Daiso, and like what the differences might be in terms of feel, etc. So that tote bag was one of the purchases, so that was $1.99. I also bought this. So this is a weekly planner dry erase board. This one was marked as 300 yen. I can't remember how much I paid for it. It might have been more than $1.99. It might have been $2.99. I don't know, sorry. But yeah, I thought it would be really nice to have this in my office just to keep me a little bit more on track. I've been eyeing one on Amazon for a very long time, but it's expensive. And it also looks really big. So even though, yeah, anyway, this is going to be nice. It also has in the back here a little bit of a rope so that I can hang it on my wall without having too much issue. It's also very lightweight, so I have this. Okay, so to go along with it, I also bought some dry erase markers. No, these are not dry erase markers. Meredith, remember this. These are permanent markers. Basically, I have used up all of my permanent markers in my house and I needed them, and the Japanese ones are actually pretty nice because these are actually very thin tips, so it's 1 millimeter. So I do like having the finer line, etc. So that is one of the other purchases. I thought I bought, I was going to say I thought I bought whiteboard markers. I did. So I bought some whiteboard markers, and these ones have the eraser connected to them. So I thought this was going to be nice to go obviously along with the dry erase board. It was a pretty good price, and I think I've used these before in the past. The eraser kind of isn't the best, but it gets the job done. They got me at the checkout with this, but then they overcharged me for it, so I'm a little bit annoyed. But these were like close to expiry, so I bought them, and they were supposed to be $1. I ended up paying $2 for it. In the greater scheme of things, not too bad. But I do like these, and I thought that they'd be nice for a plane trip. I'm going to be traveling a lot for the next few months, so I'm always going to be looking for something to keep in my backpack for a quick snack. So one of the trips I have coming up is to Alaska on a cruise with my parents. So I'm super allergic to the mosquito bites. I don't know why I said the mosquito bites, but I'm really allergic to mosquito bites, and mosquitoes love me. So I'm trying to find anything possible. So they had these. I probably could have gotten a better deal at like the dollar store, but I figured since I saw it and I can't bank of having anything at the dollar store whenever I go, so I figured I would just pick it up just to for sure have one on hand. So this one is the insect repelling super band. I think this is so funny to me. But also, like, the funniest thing about Daiso is, like, it's not even, like, funny English. It's just, like, the English is correct, but it's just, like, it sounds very aggressive when all of the English is put on bags. I was remembering it because this was in the camping section, and the camping section was, like, very aggressively telling you to take time off, and it was, like, kind of funny. But yeah, this lasts up to 200 hours, so I thought it would be nice to have. I was going to say, I think it's ones that smell like citronella, so this will be nice, and I will pack it definitely to Alaska. Also, let me know if you have any packing advice for Alaska and cruises, because this will be my first trip on both of those particular journeys there. I've never been to Alaska before, and I've never been on a cruise, so both of them are coming at once. Same with my parents, actually, so let us know what we need to know. I also bought one of these because I needed a new one, so I don't know, this one had Winnie the Pooh on it. It was just the first one I saw. They had plenty of ones that were not. They also had like an entire section of them. So this one is like medium coarseness, I think. I don't know, I can't read Japanese. But they also had ones that were like very, very not coarse, and then ones that were coarse. And then there was like the man version, which is extra coarse. And honestly, I was like, maybe I need that because I go hard when I exfoliate with my body scrubber, but that one felt like sandpaper, and I was like getting a little bit too scared. So I went with the Winnie the Pooh one because he will not let me down because he likes honey. The next thing I bought is a new laundry net. So basically I just need this laundry net because all my other ones, the zippers are starting to break. And it's not like the zipper part, it's like the zipper pull. Somehow, even though they're metal, they're cracking in half. But this one is the cylindrical version, so it kind of helps for like delicates and like bras and such, so they don't get like misshapen and stuff in the wash. So I bought one of these. Maybe I should have bought multiple, but I mean, now that I know it's pretty easy to get to Industry City, whenever I have like 3 hours to kill on the subway, maybe I'll do that. It doesn't actually take 3 hours, but you just have to like assume that you're gonna have to spend like 20 minutes waiting for the train multiple times. So anyway, this is good. The next thing I bought was a Christmas present, so I'm not going to show that to you, but just know it's quite cute, and it is for somebody who might be watching this video. I also bought some kitchen scissors. So I have a pair now, but I wanted to have a backup because sometimes those are dirty or drying. And then I also want to have separate ones for like meat, and a separate one for like everything else. But this one is also kind of nice because it has a 3-in-1 function. So it has a bottle opener and it also has a shell cracker. Those are what those pictures show there. And then it's just a regular kitchen scissors as well. So long story, but I usually like using the cotton pads from Muji just because they're really soft, they're really durable, and they do a good job, and they're usually a pretty good price. I have tried, and I know I shouldn't be using single use, but the multi-use reusable cotton pads that I got from Cosbox were so harsh on my face. It just pulls way too much, and I use it for my eyes. So I use them for like when I'm soaking toner on my face, but I can't use it to like remove eye makeup remover. It just does not work. So anyway, out of desperation, I picked up a couple of packages here. So this one is the makeup pads. The Daiso ones are not my favorite because they're kind of thin because they're from the dollar store, but they're better than the ones at Target, so I picked up 2. So this one is the circle one. This one has a little bit of some texture to it, I think. And then this one here are the rectangular ones. So this one I also like. So they're both for different uses, but I tried out both of them, and then depending on which one I like better, hopefully they're like a dupe for the Muji ones, because I went to every single Muji in the city, and that was like 5 or 6 stores. Yeah. And basically they laughed at me and they said, yeah, we haven't had those for months. They've been sold out. So they were like, what you can do is you should just call us before you come in here. I was like, okay. I think it's also because last week it was like 100-something degrees and I was like walking from store to store. And oddly enough, I didn't get as sweaty as I thought I would, but it was pretty miserable. Anyway, I have these necessity. And then the final item, I should have shown you with the other, but this is another laundry net, and this one is for fleece and sweaters, so I definitely just needed another one. Same rationale, but now that I'm looking at it, they have kind of cheapened it down a little bit. It's now a plastic zipper pull, so that's a little bit of a bummer. So I am hoping to like go to Korea somewhat in the nearish future. Maybe in the next 2 years. So I'll just pick up a bunch of stuff at the regular Daiso for like cheaper, but this will be good enough for now. I'm going to now jump into the grocery items. I also bought a half of a kombucha squash, and it was already cut for me, and if you know me in real life, you know that one of my greatest fears in life is trying to cut a melon or squash and having the knife slip and I lose a finger. So when it was already pre-cut and it looked good, I picked it up. So that is ready already. So that one is not going to be in this bag because that would be gross. So let me dig in here. So this thing was dang expensive. I went by the price on the shelf, which was $9.99. It was in fact about $20. I think it was like $19, so I made the cashier check for me. But this is from Modern Times. It's milk tea powder. Basically, I just like having this. I usually throw it into my arancino, you know what I do, from the vlogs. And then I just like drink it with like whatever liquid I have in there. But it's really nice. It gets mixed up really well. It tastes basically like a milk tea from like a bubble tea shop, but you can have it at home for a fraction of the price, even though this was 20 bucks. It's still cheaper than going to the bubble tea shop and paying $6 a glass. Going on the tea theme, if I can find any links for similar products, I'll try to find a link and put them either in my Amazon storefront or just a link below for you in case you want to see reviews from somebody else, because obviously I haven't tried them yet. I've tried similar products, but I haven't tried the actual products yet. So I bought this because it sounded really nice. So again, it was like 100 degrees last week, and thinking about barley tea was just like on the top of my mind, so they had this on sale. So this is basically a tea bag, and you put it in a 1 liter what's it called, jug? Technical terms are hard today. Container, you know what I mean, a bottle, that's the word. You put it in a bottle of water and it'll just like make some barley tea for you, and that is what I'm looking for. So I'm probably going to make it in my kombucha maker. So I have this like kombucha maker, and I just basically I've made kombucha, but then it also is kind of like a very long process. So anyway, I'm going to make barley tea in it now because that's a little bit easier. It has caffeine free and everything like that. It's just very refreshing in the summer, so I enjoy it. And again, this was on sale, so I couldn't pass it up. One of the things that I really wanted to buy at Daiso that I wasn't able to buy were basically these flakes that you can put in your rice. Usually I pick up a bunch whenever I'm at like Daiso or the dollar store in like Korea or Japan. Anyway, they didn't have it. Well, they did have it, but it was expensive as heck. So I was like, we'll go to the grocery store and I'll find it. So I found these two and I bought them because I basically just wanted to have some more flakes for my rice, just because it's quick and easy and it adds extra flavor and things. I wish I could read Japanese to tell you what this is. So, okay, it does tell me. This one is Tanaka, Furikake, Wakana, and Salmon. And this one is Tanaka, Furikake, Wakana, and Hijiki. So Hijiki, I think, is the seaweed, the longer seaweed type, but probably wrong about that. So actually, I don't actually know what's in most of these things, so I just like usually buy by like looking at the pictures. So long story, but when I lived in Japan, I never could read anything except for I learned how to read mayonnaise, like the different ways to read mayonnaise. But yeah, so I just bought by picture, so now I know that I like the purple one and the orange one, so I just grab it whenever I see them in the store. I like legitimately didn't know what the flavors were, but these are what I bought. And the final item is for quick meals, and this is golden curry. They didn't have the one that I usually buy. I mean, this one's good, but I kind of like the one, I think it's like Vermont. Is that the brand name? I'll put a link below it. It's purple. The box is purple writing, but they had this one, and this one was on sale, so I picked it up. It's just nice to have in the cupboard in case I want a quick, easy meal. It's kind of more like a winter meal. It's not really great. If I think about eating this tonight, I think I will sweat to death. But yeah, it's really nice, quick and easy. Eat it with rice, whatever you want to eat it with. But yeah, really great. Oh, I have the receipts here, so I could tell you what everything was. Okay, so, oh man. What a ripoff. I was gonna say everything at Daiso was $1.99, but no, that schedule board was $4.50. That was high. Yeah, It better be good. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, so total price that I paid at Daiso was $30.90. So not bad, but also not great. And then at Sunrise Mart, that was a little bit expensive. Again, it was mainly because of the milk tea powder being about 20 bucks. So in total, I paid about $40, so $39.78 there. But it is like specialty ingredients, and I'm probably not going to have to buy the milk tea for a while. Like probably, that's a pretty big treat. So probably like a year. Same with the barley tea. The furikake and then the golden curry, we'll see. But the kombucha squash, I can buy at the neighborhood store. I just have to be worried about my fingers, basically. So that was everything I bought at Japan Village in Industry City. I do highly recommend going out there. Actually, it's kind of interesting and kind of fun to go. And we didn't even see like even the smallest bit. I would say the other interesting thing was we went on, I think it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night, and basically they were doing like a drive-in special, and everybody brought their really fancy expensive cars, and they all drove in. It was basically like bunch of guys just showing off how much money they have, but I mean, it was kind of interesting. It kind of seemed like more of a neighborhoody feel. Again, there were a bunch of kids, so if you do have kids, they're not like shamed for being there, but there were just a lot of kids. And then they have some activities and things on the weekends for kids specifically to do, like arts and crafts. There's some pop-ups over there, some cute cafes. If you're into alcohol, they have a sake tasting room. Honestly, I kind of wanted to go in, but my friend doesn't drink. And then there's also like a whiskey tasting room and like some distilleries and things like that. So honestly, if my parents come to visit, I might kind of take them there sometime. Again, it is kind of a hike from certain parts of Manhattan, so just kind of like think of it more as like a day trip to explore than like a quick and easy errand running sort of situation. But that was everything. It was kind of fun to show you what I got, and now I can finally use those cotton pads because I've been waiting, and I had used my last cotton pad yesterday, so it's been a rough kind of I was like, I need to film it tomorrow. So yeah, anyway, that was it. So thank you again for watching. I am working on getting some vlogs edited for you, and then also kind of getting some things pre-scheduled, because again, I'm going to be traveling quite a lot in the next few weeks. So I just want to make sure that everything is ready and raring to go. So I will talk to you again soon. Follow me over on Instagram. I always forget to plug it, but over there I like to post a lot more food items and also daily life sort of updates and travel things more in real time than my vlogs. And then I also am starting to kind of work on my blog again. If you're interested, it's eatstretchexplore.com, and I usually post like food reviews and things, but since I have been cooped up because of COVID and everything, I haven't really been going to restaurants enough to write about food reviews. So hopefully starting to get more into it because I will be traveling again. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.